Welcome, or indeed welcome back to Hands on Film. My name is Israel Hands, and here on Hands on Film, we like to mix things up. So today, I'm reviewing a new indie film that you have likely not heard of, The Fall Guy. To aid me today, I'm delighted to be welcoming back Richard.
Thanks, Israel.
Richard, I didn't expect to see you so soon.
We watched this and Furiosa on the same day.
Why?
Well, sometimes you could sneak into another film after the one you paid for and watch it for free.
But we pay.
Yes, that's right. While it's on my mind, would you ask Hayner to reimburse me for the tickets?
You just said you snuck in.
Oh, yes, but that was a joke.
And a very funny one.
So about the money?
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
Just let Hayner have the receipts.
Ah, I think I lost it. You know what? Don't worry. This one's on me.
Very charitable of you. Now, if perhaps we could get on with the synopsis?
So, in a nutshell, one of the Colts is a stuntman in Pinewood, I think.
How many Colts are there?
Ah, now that's an interesting question. There was, of course, the famous Colt Navy, Patterson, Peacemaker, Walker, but a lot of lesser-known models.
All right. I think we're getting a little off track here.
Well, Colt Peacemaker gets injured, so dumps his girlfriend, but ends up working on a film with her 18 months later in Sydney.
Australia.
What?
You looked like you weren't sure.
I'll have you know that actually you're quite right. Thank you, Richard. Some actors disappeared after supposedly getting into trouble with a drug dealer, so Colt sets about to find him. During his search, he's attacked by Iggy Pop.
I don't think it was Iggy Pop.
Now you come to mention it, he did look a little younger.
And femaler.
Yes, that's right. He then meets the drug dealer from Dune,
Called Dune.
who tricks him into taking mushrooms,
Well, they weren't.
It's close enough.
fights some people and has a car chase, goes to a hotel and finds a body in a bath, but upon returning with the pigs, the body has gone. Inevitably, Colt begins rekindling things with his ex. He finds the phone of the missing actor, gets into yet another fight, hacks into the phone, which reveals the actor killed the dead body.
He, of course, wasn't dead before Tom Ryder killed him.
Well, obviously he wasn't. Good point, Richard. Colt gets into a gunfight and the phone is shot. He's captured and meets the actor, who tells him he and some woman are going to frame him using AI.
What?
You know, computers thinking for themselves.
I think you mean AI.
No, Richard, it's pronounced AI.
Oh, get on with it.
Well, the video is released with Colt's face in place of the actor's. Colt escapes and pretends to be dead. The actor resumes filming. Colt secretly turns up. He and his ex, or possibly current girlfriend, trick the actor into confessing. There is yet more fighting. The woman tries to escape with the actor in a chopper, but they crash. Oh, and the actor then blows himself up.
After crashing from a helicopter.
Yes, the end.
Okay, discussion, Israel.
Well, overall, it was a fun bit of fluff. A bit like you, Ben.
I think that is probably the nicest thing you've ever said about me.
Really?
But in the end, it turns out to be unsatisfying and pointless.
There we are.
Like you, Ben.
Great.
No, I am actually joking.
Really?
Well, not about you being unsatisfying and pointless, you understand.
Got it.
The film was unsatisfying, but not entirely without charm.
How does it compare against the original?
The original what?
It is very different. Obviously, a much higher budget, great effects, etc. But the original series always seems to be pretty much an exercise of getting a load of young women into tiny bikinis whilst an aging stuntman stayed completely dressed.
Well, wait, there was a series.
Let's start with the positive.
Great soundtrack.
Oh, it was.
Good performances.
I've definitely seen the main woman before.
It was Emily Blunt.
Okay.
She is pretty famous.
I liked how it kind of broke down the third wall.
Wouldn't the ceiling fall down?
What?
Well, if they broke the third wall, there'd only be 2 left.
Richard, please don't confuse matters further than they already are. Israel, what are you talking about?
Well, they frequently cut in and out of the film within the film. They used a strong colour grade in order to make it work. I remember thinking how difficult it would be, logistically speaking.
Absolutely. We struggle to get actors to sit in the correct chairs. Any negatives?
Well, some people certainly didn't like it. About half a dozen left the cinema.
Yes, but with small indie films that can be often the case.
Why do you think this was an indie film?
There were other notable issues.
Fine, go on.
Well, there was a great deal of semi-automatic weapon fire in the harbour, and yet no police or coast guards turned up. Also, the director, I forget her name.
Emily Blunt, or the character was Jodie Merino.
Started attacking a disguised cult peacemaker for being in her trailer.
The name is Colt Seavers.
Oh, I haven't heard of a cult Seavers. I'll check that one out. Thanks, Ben.
No problem. I mean, why was this an issue?
Well, it seemed a little extreme. From her point of view, an extra had just entered her trailer. It is probably a little inappropriate, but why would she try to kill him? There were certainly highly contrived plot points, such as catching the actor out because he was too stupid to remember he was wearing a mic.
Yes, but I think that was part of the stylistic nature of the film.
True, but as an educator, it is my job to point these things out.
How are you an educator?
There were issues with the timeline.
Oh, I don't think so.
There were a couple.
If there were, I'd have noticed them.
Can you give us an example, Richard?
Well, how did they get rid of the body so quickly? Colt was owning the car a short time. It's not possible to move a body, not be noticed, and clean the room in that amount of time.
And how do you know that?
The biggest issue was, as I understand it, Gail...
Who?
The producer.
Oh, right. Carry on.
Brought Colt over in order to frame him for the killing of the other stuntman.
Yes, so?
Well, how would that work? Colt had a pretty rock-solid alibi. He was in a different country and would have been filmed on CCTV countless times on his way through the airport. What I don't understand is how film companies can create scripts with so many plot holes. I mean, they have a large number of extremely talented people working on films like this.
Well, it is an issue with too many cooks. So many people trying to have their input. What you need is an artistic genius making all the decisions.
We could do with finding one of those as well. So, what was your overall impression, Richard?
I found it a little slow going, oddly. Maybe slightly too many plot turns, but came away from the cinema having enjoyed it overall.
Okay, Israel, could you sum up, please?
The Fall Guy is an enjoyable action flick that doesn't take itself too seriously. Well worth a watch, but don't expect a Seagal-level film.
Steven Seagal?
Don't start.
And that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and we hope you learned something. And if not, try listening harder next time. Goodbye.
And we're clear. Well, thank you, Izzy, an actually helpful summing up.
No problem. Thanks, Richard. I'll let you know next time I need something fixed. A film reviewing.